this evening. Thankful for all that are able to be gathered here this evening, and for all those hopefully that are able to watch at home. We welcome you in to worship with us at Sugar Tree this evening. And was hoping to have service outside this afternoon or this evening, but we didn't cooperate. So we're just thankful to be able to come to the house of the Lord. Wish we had it full this evening, and that'd be the desire of our hearts. But maybe before too long we come back into the house of God. But we've been encouraged through this process. I think we all have that this is nothing more than a building. It's God that makes it the church. And we've been able to step outside this facility that we call the church and have church in the parking lot, and have it online, and ways that we didn't ever think that we could get the Word of God out, where it's getting out, it's staying time. We just need to praise God for it. I'm glad that God's in control. God saw that there would be a need. I call, this technology's the devil, is the way I look at it. But God knew there'd be a need. I knew that when they put Sugar Tree Church here, that the parking lot needed to be big enough at some point in time to have church outside. And some people think that's crazy. But if people knew, and I'll just take a little time this evening to tell you, when it was the decision to tear down the old church, burn the old church, was the decision that was made. And I guess the church could have went their separate ways and had church, went and had church somewhere else and come back. But when it came time to move the pews out to the fellowship hall, they fit just perfect. I mean, just narrow enough that the doors would open for us to have church in the fellowship hall. People think that our thought is crazy, but I believe God had a plan in that from the very beginning. If we'll obey what God would have us to do, God can see what the future holds. And I'm glad of that. And if we'll pray and trust and have faith in Him and just lean upon Him in all decisions that need to be made, life will work itself out. But it's when we take decision into our own hands, and rather than bow down and pray and take it to the Lord in prayer, we try to make the decisions ourselves, and that's when we end up in bad circumstances. Yeah, right. So I'm just thankful. I've seen it down through the years, and I know those folks that are here at the bench Sugar Tree for a while have seen God work here, and He's still working, and I appreciate that this evening. Before we go any further, we'll entertain prayer requests. Shannon called before I left and said Helen's sister, Mildred Mahaffey, fell and broke her hip this morning. And she's in Winston, of course, just like Judy yesterday. When, praise the Lord, she came through surgery all right and is at home, but is having to be down there by herself. And so they're not for sure what action they're going to take at this time. But just remember her, remember Judy, Jim, Natasha, Brian, their whole family in your prayers as Judy's recovering. I called Jim this afternoon and asked him if Judy's making supper yet. And he told her that Dr. Jones said that she could get up and do a few things, but said she was doing great. So praise the Lord. Praise the Lord for that. I really appreciate the prayer. Any other requests before we go to the Lord?
I have a request.
Hands going up. So.
Remember the young man that lost his life on 16 yesterday. Remember his family who lost his life. Remember all our country. Remember our country and our leaders. They have many difficult decisions to make. I wouldn't want to be the governor, much less, or the president, or anybody who have to decide what for your state or your country or whatever. Just remember
all stuff, all reading, all those things in church, just me and them. Got a call from Lois today, but I never could get her to respond to the, she called me, called the house, but she never did respond, so I don't know if it's bad connection or what, but just remember all those opinions and can't do that.
Yeah.
Not all ten we will gather around the altar of the Lord in prayer. That's Leon, if you will do it.
Almighty God.
Our most God and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, praise you, Lord, for this another time. Bless you, Lord. For the opportunity to be able to come this way this evening, Lord. I want the Lord to help people pray for their neighbors, pray for you, Lord. Dear God, this is full of your Lord, life, no matter, Lord. Lord, just thank you, praise you for so many to save our souls. Dear God, this evening, Lord, the speaker, this evening, I did it. Dear God, we bless her and use her over you, God. Be it for us, Lord. Help us, Lord God, to stand your word, God. Dear Lord, breathe on our heart. Lift your name up. All things, Lord. Your word, Lord, will go out from all those who stand tonight, Lord. Preach it, God. Get them, Lord, out of our word. Touch hearts and lives, Lord, of those that are here, of those that are listening online, Lord. Maybe some lost souls that we've got that don't know you for the pardon of sin. Bring them home to the name of God. Something might be set up. Might touch their heart and life. We know that there's help and nothing. You open their heart. God, Anybody has a song or a word of testimony on your heart, we invite you to come.
Bless your Lord.
Bless her, Lord.
Thank God, said the word today, and how fortunate I am. I've not been sick, and I've got a job to go to, and even when I don't got through the last year without him, couldn't have got through this without him. I believe he's right there every step of the way, and I don't necessarily believe that maybe he sends things, but I believe he allows things to happen to get our attention and to show us that maybe we need to make some improvements, and I believe I have. I believe that he showed me that I've got lots of room to grow, and I thank him for being there with me. I thank him for waking me up every morning and letting me go to sleep each night in peace, knowing that if tomorrow ever comes, I'll be going to a better place, and I just thank him.
it's been a long, long road, and my soul has grown so weary. I just can't understand all the struggles within me. There've been times I've strayed away, and even times I could not pray. But somehow my faith would say, just hold on, there's a brighter day.
Amen.
He never gave up. He never gave up. Mercy reached down, and that was enough. If you could see who I was before, then I'm sure that you'll agree. He never once ever gave up on me.
Hallelujah.
If your back's against the wall and you feel all hope is gone, have you often asked yourself, is there a reason to go on?
Amen.
But he looks beyond your guilty stains, and his mercy, it takes the blame. So forget about your past, just praise the Lord, you're free at last. He never gave up. He never gave up. Mercy reached down, and that was enough. If you could see who I was before, then I'm sure that you'll agree. He never once ever gave up on me.
Amen.
If you could see who I was before, then I'm sure that you'll agree. He never once ever gave up on me.
If you could see who I was before, then I'm sure that you'll agree.
He never once ever gave up on me. If you could see who I was before, then I'm sure that you'll agree. He never once ever gave up on me. He never once ever gave up on me.
Amen.
Great God.
Ain't you glad this evening he didn't give up on us? Praise the Lord. He went all the way. He went. He didn't give up on any of us, did he? He went to the garden over there and he prayed. Said, Lord, if this cup pass from me. But then he went on and said, not my will, but thine will be done. He went all the way. Went all the way for me. Went all the way for you. And praise be to God. When he saved my soul, it didn't end there. He's been with me every step of the way. I hadn't always been as close to him as I should, but praise be to God, he's never one time left me. Never one time gave up on me. And he come and knocked at my heart's door many times. He could have called it quits. He could have stopped. You know, you've been there, you've done that, knocked on people's doors, or maybe called and asked them to come. And my mama being one of them, I bring her up periodically from time to time. At times felt like giving up. And maybe at times we have given up, but praise be to God, I serve one tonight that will not give up on you. All right, Psalm 122, if you got your Bibles, turn with us this evening. Good place to be this evening. Thankful to be here, thankful for the opportunity to come. Thankful get to worship one more time on this side. Wish, again, that we can open our doors to everybody or be out in the parking lot this evening. Hopefully the reception's working this evening and you can worship with us wherever you're at. Psalm 122 is where we're at this evening. It's just 9 verses. I believe we're going to read them all this evening. Psalm 122 says, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is builded as a city that is compact together. Whither the tribes go up, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, they shall prosper that love thee. Peace be within thy walls, and prosperity within thy palaces. For my brethren and companions' sake, I will now say, peace be within thee. Because of the house of the Lord our God, I will seek thy good.
Amen.
May God add the blessings to the reading of His Word this evening. If we had a thought this evening, we go back to verse 1. And verse 1 says, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Yeah. And we went to, let's see, Monday night, I believe it was, took Noah and Isabella over to Mr. and Miss Sexton's house. Joey had called one of them to sing for the radio program, and they quit doing it in silence because of Mr. Sexton's health. And so we went over to their house, and as I was sitting there, and kids were singing, and then as Joey was preaching, I looked up on the wall there, and there was a beautiful picture of the church over there, and under it said, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. And I began to think, I've had that on my mind since Monday, just pondering that thought. And did you ever think there would be a time that came because of the condition that we're living in today? I thought maybe there might come a time where they tried to prohibit us, the government, because of the liberal beliefs that we sometimes have in this country. I thought they might try to prohibit us from going to the house of God, but I never, upon never, saw what we're living in today coming. And I began to think just a little bit. I ponder on that. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. And I began to think just a little bit this evening. I imagine there's people that couldn't be here tonight that would like to be here. I imagine there was people tonight that maybe was waiting on a text or phone call from me, hoping that they might get to come to the house tonight. But I began to think, how many folks were hoping that maybe they didn't get a call from me tonight. I got a call this evening from a fella that goes to another church, asked if we had online church. You might be watching this evening. Welcome if you are. But I began to talk to him just a little bit. I said, well, we only have weekend internet, and the reception wasn't good on Wednesday. I don't know if you'll be able to pick us up, but I said we're having a parking lot church. And I said we've been having a drive-in service. I began to think about that just a little bit. I told him we had room in our parking lot for plenty of people, more people to come. But I want to invite some of those that ain't been coming from Sugar Tree to come to drive-in church. People think we're crazy, folks. I began to think about the psalmist David over there. I began to think about they had stolen the Ark of the Covenant over there, and they got it back, and it was over in Obadiah or Obadiah, whatever, his house over there, and they brought it back to Jerusalem, and it said that David stood there and danced in front of the Ark of the Lord. I believe he was happy to worship God. Wow! I'm telling you what, I began to think just a little bit when I was inviting that old boy to come to Sugar Tree. The parking lot ought to be full with Sugar Tree people. Now, there's some people that's got a legitimate excuse and they need to stay at home. But that excuse is between them and God. And God, as I've already preached in the last little bit, He knows the intents of your heart. You make up whatever excuse you want to. computer stuff online for school. You won't see me dancing in the house of God, but I try not to judge people. I used to do a whole lot of judging. I remember hearing a story. I don't believe I was here at revival that night about a guy that said that God had gave him a talent to whistle. Most people think that was foolishness, and I know the church did that was here that night until the old boy got up and used his talent. I'm telling whatever talent you got, if God gave it to you, use it for Him. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of a trumpet. I believe they was ready to worship God over the ark of the covenant represented the prayer. Over there, he says they got to shout. I believe they began to worship. People think this parking lot stuff is crazy. They think if they can't have coffee and donuts and come in and talk to one another and scribble a little bit, they can't have church. But I'll tell you, the point of church is to worship God. That's the whole purpose of church. Don't get me wrong, I miss the fellowship. But I'm glad we can still worship God. That's the whole point of this thing anyway. I look fun. And now verse 16, listen. Sound like the world we live in. Sound like part of the church. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord. She despised him in her heart. I don't believe she was in the right shape of worship. Do you? She was married to David. No, excuse me. Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw David leaping in there. See, she was jealous. She's jealous that David had taken the kingdom probably from her dad. She was upset. She didn't have the heart ready for worship. I'm telling you, what's wrong with us today? We don't have a desire to come to the house of God. I was happy when they told us, let's go down to the house of the Lord. She wasn't too excited to see God's presence in the city, was she? She wasn't too excited. There's a lot of churches today. I'd be scared if God were to show up. Verse 20 says, Then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovers himself. Listen to what David told. And David said unto Michal, It was before the Lord, which chose me before thy father and before all his house, and to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Lord. Let's quit worrying about what the world thinks of us, and let's just get back to worshiping God.
Amen.
Woo! Good place to be tonight. I was thinking about, I started reading about, start with about Hannah over there. Elkanah, I believe is his name, maybe. He had two wives, and one was Hannah and the other was Peninnah. Peninnah had several children, but he loved Hannah most of all. It came time of the year to go worship over in the city there. They took their family over there, and Hannah was distraught, and she went and poured her house. See, I'm glad this evening that I serve a God that whatever my need might be, if I'll just come to the house of God to worship Him, He'll use something during the service to help me, to speak to my heart, and I can come and get what I sought after. noticed over there that Eli, she was just down as we do sometime with the Lord, just talking to him, not really saying anything, just mumbling, because it's all coming from down in here. I believe she's pouring her heart and spirit. He says he thought she was drunk over there. She said, I'm not drunk. Just the middle of the day, I just poured out my heart to God. I am distraught today. He said, whatever you ask of God, let it be.
Yeah, amen.
What's it say over there? Asking it shall be given you. Seeking ye shall find. Knocking it shall be opened unto you. So she started pouring her heart out to God because she wanted a man-child. She wanted a son. She wanted, at that point in time, she hadn't been able to have any children. Well, God heard her prayer, didn't he? Praise the Lord. She went over with an intent to the house of God. I believe when we come to the house of God for a purpose, and it ought to be to worship God, I believe we can start to see movement. I believe we can start to see things happen. I believe we can start to see what happened out here in the parking lot a couple Sundays ago. When Adam, I thought that God came and knocked on his heart's door. He knew something wasn't right, and he asked Christ how to be his personal Savior. Boy, I tell you what, when we come with a purpose, things happen. I'd hate to be missing out on that, wouldn't you? Now again, some of you don't need to be coming to church, and this is not for you. It may not be for anybody. But we've got a whole lot of people coming, and it ain't a part of Sugar Tree. We'd like to welcome more in. But we'd like for all of Sugar Tree that can to be here.
Amen.
It's been a good place to be the last few Sundays. Parking lot's a good place to worship. I'm thankful for it. Yeah, I'm ready to get back in the house of God where we can fellowship with one another. But I'm glad most of all that God's presence has been here through this whole thing thus far. It's been good. Well, she had a son over there. And she told God, she said, if you'll give me a son, I'll give him back to you.
Yeah.
So she had one. And it came that time of year. Next year, I believe, whenever, it doesn't say, maybe in several years later, came that time of year to worship God. She said, just a little quiet. Till she went even over there. She went up with a dish. That time, she'd already got what God had promised her. She already had poured her heart out to God, and God had fulfilled his promise. The next time, she went to worship God. She went the next time to praise him. She went the next time to fulfill her promise that she had given God. See, we're awfully bad to come to the house of God when we need something, and then when he delivers, we forget to show back up and give him the praise for it. That's probably for somebody this evening too. If you come and ask God for something and he delivers it, that ought to give us more want to come back to the house of God to worship and praise him for what he's done.
Bless him, Lord.
So she went back and we know Samuel, one of the greatest men of all time over there. I mean, he because his mom was faithful, God gave him to her, and he gave him back over to God over there. Said no doubt she visited and brought him a coat from time to time. But thanks be to God, he delivered for Hannah over there. Didn't forget God. Hannah brought and delivered what she was supposed to and worshiped him in the process. Also, in Psalm 27:4, this is what David said. One thing I have desired, and now listen, is this our desire this season? Is this what we would have this season? When they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Psalmist David said, one thing I have desired of the Lord, Psalm 27:4, is that I shall set me upon the rock. See, David wanted to stay close to God. Why? Because God was his fortress. He was his protector. He was his shield. He was his strength. He was his rock. And then he slung him alive over there. God will stay with him. He will deliver us. And then when he does, we need to come back and give him the glory for it. Let's need to give him the glory where glory is due. God deserves glory. Praise be God. He never was, ever gave up on me. A lot of people may give up on me. I gave up on myself from time to time. But God is faithful and is with us all the way. Going over just a little bit in 2 Chronicles. David wanted to build God a house over there. So your son's going to do it. And so Solomon had a desire to build a temple over there. He did. In Psalm 2 Chronicles chapter 6, Solomon began to pray unto God. And it was finished over there. And I believe folks were ready to worship. And he bowed down and gave it to God. And in verses 18 through 20, he said, but will God in every deed dwell with men on earth? The whole heaven and the heaven of heavens can thee. How much less this bill? Praise be to God. This building was made for me. This building was made for God. This building right here was made to worship God. But praise be to God. This building came the Spirit of God. Praise be to God. I can take him wherever I want to go, and he can go right out this door, right out into the parking lot, and save a soul. Boy, ain't that good? Some people got God restricted. But praise be to God, God showed up right out there in that parking lot, right over there on the other side, and he saved a soul. Boy, ain't that good? Woo! I can't contain God in this little temple tonight. Elijah over there, Elijah said, what? You stay here. No. He said, if you'll keep your eyes on me, I'll give you whatever you have a desire. I believe, Elisha stuck to Elijah like a glove over there. There wasn't no getting rid of it. And when it came time to get what Elijah promised him, he could have anything I believe he wanted over there. But what did he say? I want a double portion of what you got. Well, I like a double portion. I like it. Some people scared to death of it. Some people don't want to kind of be blessed by God, I don't believe. But I like it. I like to be filled up with His Holy Spirit. I like it. I get it to where I can't hardly get it out of my mouth because it's so quick, it's so hard. And sometimes this little mind can't wrap its brain around it. But praise be to God. I've got a God said, just open your mouth and I'll put the word that needs to be said. Woo! 19. I say Chronicles 6:19. Have respect therefore to the prayer of thy servant, and do his supplication, O Lord my God. Hearken unto the cry and the prayer which thy servant prayeth before thee. Listen to this, that thine eyes may be opened upon this house day and night. We need to be much in prayer, that God be with us upon this house, and night, upon the place where thou hast said that thou wouldst put thy name there. This is Sugar Tree Baptist Church, but it better be a place where God is. It better be more than a name on the church. Dustin Farmer, pastor. It better be that much different over there, was it? Back then, but it wasn't much different over there on the day of Pentecost. Over there where the Holy Spirit revealed himself unto the people over there on the day of Pentecost. God told him, Christ told him when he went away, that there would be a comforter, that God would send the Holy Spirit to come down. When Jesus Christ left, we would need somebody to fill the Lord. And praise be to God, he's here tonight. He's here.
Yeah.
Can hardly contain it. It's so good.
Amen.
He's here. Hate you or not, hopefully you can feel at home. He's here tonight.
Amen.
Day of Pentecost. Said there was a sound like a rushing mighty wind. Came in. Filled the house over there. It's like cloven tongues of fire. Fell upon them over there. They began to worship God. Everybody speaking in their own language. But they can understand it. That's how good my God is. Praise be to God. When we get in it, we can be blind. We can be deaf. We can be dumb. But I believe when the Holy Spirit comes, you'll know it. I believe a blind and dumb man and deaf man can feel the presence of God. Why? Because he's God. He can do all things. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. One of the people at school said, I saw you Sunday getting wet. I said, yeah, I don't want to be like that. I just can't help it. I can't help it. I wish I didn't preach this way. It wears me out. But I can't help it. It says the priest could not enter into the house of the Lord because the glory of the Lord had filled the Lord's house. Goes on over there. King Solomon offered a sacrifice of 20 and 2,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep. So the king and all the people dedicated the house of God. What does that tell me? That tells me people's ready to worship God.
Yeah.
That tells me that everybody and their brother had brought a sacrifice over there. They were glad that the temple had been built. They were glad that God had showed his presence over there. Said when he got done praying, when God poured that fire out, that the people fell down to worship God. I'm telling you, we want to get past this coronavirus. We need to have not only the parking lot full, we need to have all the sugar tree full. We need to just start praying to God that this thing will come and go. And when it is gone, the church house needs to be full. Praising God that we got through another trial. Got through another. Oh man, the whole world's praying right now. But when this thing is come and gone, they'll forget God, won't they? They'll forget Him. Just like they did 9/11. Pray. Everybody got banded together and pray. Wasn't long. Just like Israelite people over there, wasn't long till they'd forgotten God.
Yeah.
Moses only been up on the mount, 40 days, 40 nights, something like that. They'd already turned their back on God. Got there. I brought all their jewels over there, had Aaron make a golden calf, I believe it was over there. Anyways, he made an idol or whatever it was over there. They'd already forgotten God. They had 40 days. 40 days. That's a little over a month.
Yeah.
They'd already forgotten what God had brought them through. Already forgot where God had taken them to. That's the world. It ain't no different today. And I began to think, and I'm going to close, but I began to think over there in Luke chapter 14, 15 through 24. Said a man bid a feast over there. He had a big banquet over there, and no doubt he had a big long list of his buddies that he wanted to come. No doubt he had a long list of people that he thought were his friends. And as he sent his servant out there to get them, they all made an excuse. Said the first one said that he had bought some land and he needed to go see it. Said, please forgive me. Please tell the Lord over there that I am sorry. And the second one, he said, I've 5 yoke of oxen. This is what the Bible teaches. I don't know that this is exactly, it ain't word for word, but he said, I brought 5 yoke of oxen. You need to prove them over there. Please, Ben, tell the Lord that I'm sorry, that I have an excuse. And then another one said, I had married a wife, therefore I cannot come. And so one important to hear. And the Lord said to the servant, go into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house might be filled. For I say unto you that none of those which were bidden shall taste my supper. There's going to be a time. Now, listen to what I'm preaching tonight. Psalm 122. Normally I'd have this written down, but I don't. Verse 1. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. There's going to come a time when it's your last time. There's going to come a time when there's not going to be another opportunity. When he's went to the highways and the hedges. He's went to the alleys and the streets, and he's been all. He's touched the heart of every man that's heard the word of the Lord and bid him to come. And one of these days, just like he shut up the ark over there, said that the Bible teaches that Noah and his wife and his family and his 3 sons and their wives and their family went on. That was it. The rains were coming, and God shut the door.
Amen.
I believe they all, every man, woman, and child on the face of the earth at that time, had an opportunity to get on board that ark. The door is still open tonight. I'm thankful. I'm happy that I got to come to the house of the Lord tonight. But one of these days, it's going to be the last time. One of these days, we might not. It's supposed to be plan on being out in the parking lot. I hope you do too. But there is no promise of Sunday.
Right.
This might be it. Tonight might be the last night wherever you are worshiping with us tonight. This might be it. If on Friday you get a hold of this message and God speaks to your heart, that might be the last time before the door closes.
Yes.
You need to make it right. And I assure you, if you do, he will put something in your heart that will tell you that you are glad when they say unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord.
Amen.
If you had been given an invitation to come tonight, would you have been happy? There's times in my life, well, I've been just as happy, if not happier, if they hadn't called my house and invited me to come to the house of God. Yes, that's something to be ashamed of, but not something you can't get straightened out.
That's right.
I remember going, me and my dad will shut up, but we went down to New Orleans. Not to party. We went to the national championship football game down there. That's all I wanted for Christmas. And we went and drove down. We didn't have tickets, and we got down there on the street. This guy said, you want to buy a pen? I'll sell you a pen and give you 2 tickets. It took us, we're from the hills up here. The mountains were a bunch of hicks. Took us just a little while to figure out what he's telling us. That he couldn't scout tickets, and he's going to sell us a pen and give us 2 tickets. But we bought them. And I don't know in my worldly state that I've ever been more excited in my life than when we had those tickets in our hands. And when we walked into New Orleans Superdome, I have never been in a place that big in my life. You look at it on the outside, and it's huge. But until you walk in and you see all them fans, Florida State, Virginia Tech fans everywhere, nothing can describe it. And I remember when they ran out on the field, my heart was pumping. John Goodman came out and flipped the coin. I was just super, super pumped. And Virginia Tech lost the game, and we drove straight home afterwards. But that's a trip that I'll always remember. But I can tell you tonight, I can tell you in my heart of hearts tonight, that there is no greater joy than when somebody says, let us go into the house of the Lord.
Amen.
When the Spirit is there, as the Spirit has revealed himself tonight, there is no greater place on the face of the earth than the house of the Lord. If it's been a while, now I'm going to tell you, if tonight somebody called you up and offered you, I don't know even who they are right now, I don't know who I'm just thankful I can feel him still. Ain't that good when you feel him? If you've been where you can't feel him, you're really thankful when you can. And I've been in both places, and praise God, it's been good tonight. It's been a good place tonight. If you got an need, we invite you to come tonight. God's speaking to your heart. We're going to get one verse of song. If you're at home, you got a need. Just bow down where you're at. Just pour your heart out to God. Just ask him to forgive you. He'll hear you in prayer. Just like you heard Hannah over there. I don't know, Hannah can utter a word out of her mouth, but praise be to God. I serve a God that can look down in your heart and see what you need. Do you need him tonight? Do you need to clear up something tonight? We invite you